Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of Durarara X2 Ketsu. Call it my final recap and final impressions on the third core of Durarara X2. And this episode right here, not too bad. Pretty crazy here and there. So if anything else, let's go. Okay. At the beginning of the episode, it plays off where Mikado was about to commit suicide apparently. So I'm thinking in my mind, what the you doing, man? And later on, a gunshot is heard after he puts the gun into his head, or that terrorist-like weapon. I'm like, nah! That kind of thing. And therefore, we have to it that, we have more events going on with Izaya going up against Shizuo, but later on gets cornered and is about to get killed. But Verona comes in and says she'll stain her hands with it, you know? But apparently with this other person, I don't know what the hell, dude. It's like getting a little crazy here and there. So I'm thinking in my mind, what the hell is going on here, you know? But we add to it that Celti stopped everyone after like the guy. I think it's the guy Takashi Nasujima. I think that's the person. He ends up saying it's time to kill everybody, yada yada yada. Everything's gone to chaos. Well, he didn't say kill everybody, but whatever it is. One thing for sure is that Celti stopped everyone and she wanted to take her leave. And Shinra tries to tell her something with a couple words of quotes, but with Shizuo like following him later, you know. As for Izaya, the fight was stopped between Shizuo and Verona, etc. with the flashbang or something. So I'm thinking in my mind, what the hell just happened, you know? I just go like, whatever. And Izaya disappeared. Apparently he got saved though, as the episode continues. We have to it that certain events were starting to get a little hazy and crazy for now. As for Shinra, he asked Shizuo to help him out with something and therefore throws him at Celti, and Shinra slices Celti with Saika, makes her regain her memories, and they end up being together. As for the head, as for Mikado and Ryogami and let me see here, what's Kira? They seem to be, along with Anri, they seem to be okay, but apparently that freaking teacher or whatever that person tries to stab freaking Anri, but Mikado took the freaking injury, and we have to it that teacher continuing where it left off because it kind of got a little complicated. The teacher ends up trying to run away. I think that's the person that tries to stab Anri. Anri gets really upset about this, draws out Saika, was about to kill him, but Haruna on the other hand says she'll take care of him. And the guy ends up trying to run away apparently, but we have to it that our boy Kadota or Kyohei ends up telling his friends, that's the guy that ran me over. And his friends said, oh, that's the guy that ran you over. The guy who tried to stab Anri, he ran him over instead. And apparently his fate is on a ugly scale, which I think he died on, because Haruna ends up saying she took him to one of Izaya's hideouts, and I think she's going to torture him apparently, chained up. I'm thinking in my mind, oh boy, this is really going to hurt. Really, really badly, you know? Etc. And we have to it that, Shinra's father, talks to Seiji's sister and wants to recruit her apparently. But that didn't come out so well after she was choking him and so forth, you know? But as for Seiji and so forth, he decides to go to Chicago for the head to go after it, you know? But, well, thanks to his somewhat girlfriend, etc., she said, nah, I'd rather be with you in Chicago and so forth, you know? I think that's, Mika Harima? Yeah, Mika Harima. And so forth. So we have to it that she'll go with him to Chicago, and Seiji tells her, you know, I don't really see you as my lover, but I see you as a family, you know, that kind of thing. And therefore, things were starting to be back to the way it was, you know, nothing big and happened after what's going on. As for Verona, she decides to go on home, talk to her father, and challenges Shizuo to a duel, she comes back again, you know, to understand life. As for Celti, she ends up running away from the cops with Shinra again after a funny moment. As for Mikado, he seems to be okay, you know, and so forth. And as for Alba, he is warned by the guy who has a slash on his eye, you know, and tells him, and we have to it that Alba was warned by him you better not cause any trouble and cross the line, otherwise you're not going to be talking big once I take care of you. You hear me? And as for Henri, she talks to him and says she actually likes him and so forth. And it ends up with Mikado waking up and all the three hold their hands together, you know? And someone was in the chat room and then the chat room's gone and then so forth. So that's the end of Durarara X2, Ketsu. Now, this third course, I believe, I think I had a lot of fun looking at. I think I had a lot of fun, you know? I mean, as the usual goes around here and there, I actually had my enjoyment through time and again. I mean, a lot of characters had certain connections with each other to make events interesting, or to see this event happening, or to see that event happening. I forgot to mention Izai. He did get saved and so forth, and apparently he's gonna go away from the city forever, I believe. And he says like he's gonna go to an emergency room, but he said he cannot have Shizuo as the monster on his deathbed, apparently. Forgot to mention that. Now, continuing off about my final thoughts on Durarara X2 Ketsu. Now, it's been a fun ride, seeing certain characters here and there, seeing them develop, and seeing a certain psychological aspect of Mikado, you know? I mean, it's been shown a little bit of that from the beginning of Durarara X2 show, and then going to like, going into like 10, and then Ketsu, and etc. Now, it was pretty fun, you know? I mean, like, there's been a lot of crazy events that happen. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention about Kasane Kujari. She ends up saving, the famous girl who was stalked by this freaking, like, stalker whatsoever. Hijibi Rudy stalker. And Kasane Kujari says she envies her, yada yada yada. I'm very sorry for being very disorganized, forgive me. Now, to put it all into bullet points, you know, let's just say Celti did something to stop all these events after what's been going on, and then like everything's back to certain daily procedures of anyone's normal life, you know? The one that you could think about and honestly say. So yeah. But as for Durarara X2 Ketsu, I actually had a lot of fun. I mean, like, I had some worries here and there, and some things were bothering me, but I guess all that was depending on the final episode and how things were going to go. So, as for Celti's head, you know, it goes to Chicago and so forth. Yada, yada, yada. Now, for everything about Ketsu, I think I'll give it maybe at least 6 to 8 out of 10, apparently. But as for everything at Durarara X2, I think it earns maybe 6 to 7 or 8 out of 10 for me. But everything in general about Durarara, like with the first season, with all the cores of Durarara X2, I think it earned maybe an 8 out of 10. Now, I may be like overhyping this thing, and maybe going out of my mind kind of thing, but I love Durarara in a certain sense, alright? I mean, I know there's a lot of characters here and there, and then so forth, but they seem to have certain connections with each other to make events interesting, and how, like, might have made sense, but maybe that's just me being Mr. Stupid in other cases. Just saying. And being honest. For now. And anyways, actually had a lot of fun with Durarara X2. Sorry, like, repeating myself and so forth. Seeing how Mikado was, like, one of the characters I enjoyed keeping an eye on, because he went from, like, a kid that just living his own ordinary life into some kind of, like, crazed up psychopath. Well, not exactly, but I don't know. But that's what it's been showcasing for Mikado, like one of them themes, you know? As for Kira, he does come back eventually, but he had to take care of some stuff after, like, talking with his girlfriend, or Saki and so forth, you know? Henri became a person that had some hesitation about fitting into the environment and so forth. Yada yada yada. But had my moments here and there with every single character. I really enjoyed them from beginning to end, and yeah, I really had a lot of fun with the Durarara series. I still see it as in my top 10 anime that I ever watched in my life. I know I have a lot to learn and so forth, but I still enjoyed it I still had a lot of fun seeing characters develop and seeing how events lead to this and that, and then how it all ended in the end. So yeah, had my fun with Durarara. I love the series. I think it's considered to be in my top 10 anime series of all time, and so forth. And I don't know how it's gonna turn out for other people, but I hope they had their fun with Durarara too, But it is what it is. Until then, I hope you all enjoyed Durarara to the very end, especially with X2, with all the 3 cores. Hope you had as much fun as I did with every single character, especially your favorite girl in Durarara, whoever it is. Mine is Henri, to be honest with you. No one takes her, alright? Until then, hope you all had fun. Repeating myself again, I apologize, and hope you enjoyed it to the end. So until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. So I am Alpha Zero. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys in my next final recap. Peace out. Bye-bye.